Hello guys and gals, it is I, the Monster, and today we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. It's been a little while now since I put out a video. Admittedly, I didn't know what I was going to do here, so this is just going to be a very pish-pash video, kind of like the old school videos I used to do 100 years ago on this channel. So kick back, get the snacks, do whatever you got to do, and we're just going to jump right into it. This is like a no-thrills video, okay? So we know now that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out June 5th of this year. It's funny, I had a couple of conversations with friends and other YouTubers, and we were talking about when this thing could pop out. And I even said, I thought it was going to be this summer because you have games like GTA 6 coming out at the end of the year, and you could put the console out in the summer and have all your big games come out at the end of the summer and in the holiday seasons. So it's pretty crazy that they're actually doing it. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that. But, of course, they started off the thing with Mario Kart World. I thought Mario Kart World looked really good. I know we saw a little bit of it before the last presentation, and we thought it was Mario Kart 9. There's a huge roster of characters, and you could do 24 characters on a track. There's all kinds of new modes. You could go on a continuous loop. You could drive around the maps and explore things, which I really like. It's got, what is it, Forza vibes? I think it's Forza. And I was just very surprised by some of the character choices, like that cow and the penguin and stuff, the different costumes. It's going to be really exciting. I hope with this whole world thing, I'm hoping that they finally smash this a little bit and add in different characters from different properties, because I'd love to see other IPs jump into the Mario Kart stuff. So I'm very excited. And I know it's going to be a big launch title. They're going to do 2 models of the Switch 2. We're going to talk about that as well. And one of them's got a digital version of Mario Kart World in it. So they also announced Game Share, which I was like, man, dude, I can't remember the last time they did this. They did Game Share on the 3DS, right? It was like a local version or something, where if you didn't have a game, one person could just transfer the game over locally. I'm really happy they're doing this. I think it's a much needed feature, and I'm just surprised they haven't done it. It's taken them a long time to get to that. So to me, that's a pretty cool move, especially if you go over to someone's house or whatever, or if you guys are just chilling and you have a party game or something you want to play with your buddies, you could just do that. I think that's pretty neat. I'm not going to lie about that. So for the most part, the Switch 2 is basically going to be a bigger Switch 1 with a better screen, I suppose, even though some will tell me the OLED's going to be the best thing they ever do. There's bigger buttons, there's bigger analog sticks, better speaker, a built-in microphone, 2 USBs. I'm so thankful they're putting a USB on the top of this damn thing finally. And I was very, surprised at just how many things they really thought of in regards to remodeling the Switch already as it is. They were talking about how they're going to do this vivid LCD screen now this time around. It looks pretty good. And now the dock's going to have a fan, so it's better ventilation. I was really, really, really surprised that they talked about the addition of HDR and how they're actually trying to hit 120 frames now. This is something I've been talking about. I'm very open about it. You get into some arguments that they really need to focus on the stability and the optimization of their games. I get it. I know it's Nintendo, and I understand. Again, they're not always about the most great performing games, but this is something that really needed to be addressed, and I'm really happy that at the very least, you could say whatever you want about this Direct, but at least they touched on that, and I thought that was nice. I don't know how we get there, but I'm just very excited at the idea that the games are going to actually run better. To me, that's one of the biggest selling points of this whole thing, because if it's just a Switch 1 with a couple of things, then there's really no point. I can just go back to playing the other stuff. As we know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be compatible with specific Switch 1 titles, which is a little scary because we don't know what the entire list of the games are, but it's nice to know that both physical and digital games will be supported. The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have 256 gigabytes instead of 32, which is interesting to me because I want to know how big these games are. I want to see how much of that gets eaten up and by just the main center system. And the thing that was really bothering me was, so the Switch uses micro SD cards, and I have a pretty decent one in mine. And now it's saying that we have to buy micro SD Express cards, whatever they're called, and you can't put the original cards in the console, so you're going to have to data transfer, which to me, it's okay, you're basically pulling kind of like a Sony here, where you're just making me buy another piece of tech just because. Yeah, I'm sure things are going to load quicker and stuff. It's just frustrating because now I got to sit there and wait for all my data to go over to this console if I want to transfer something. So that was kind of like a moment for me with Nintendo. I was not happy about that one. So one of the big things that they showed at the beginning of this show was they had the addition of a C button on the Nintendo Switch 2, and that meant that when you clicked it, you would go right into a brand new game chat. So the game chat's interesting because you'll have up to a certain amount of players be able to actually talk to each other. You can jump into each other's games, watch each other's games, and then they're also trying to sell this Nintendo Switch 2 camera peripheral because you got to sell another peripheral if you want to be on the screen or if you want to do some games with you in it and such. And don't get me wrong, like, I genuinely think this is a brilliant idea by them, but I also think it's like, dude, like, you're playing catch-up here, bro. Like, you're essentially playing catch-up with the voice chat. Again, I love the idea that it's just right there, and I think it's really neat, but it's taken you a long time to get to this point. On top of that, now you got to sell a camera. Like, I was hoping the camera was going to come with the console, but it's not. And the thing that was really kind of a gut punch to me was they're going to charge you, like, you have to pay for the online to use the voice chat experience. They said for a limited time they're going to let you use the camera and everything for free. But I'm just going to straight up say it. I think if you're friends with people, voice chat should just be free. I think that's complete nonsense that they're going to have to charge you for that feature. I'm sorry. I can understand it a little bit with certain games and such, but to me, that's kind of like another thing that they lost points with me on personally. And on top of that, they were talking about the new Nintendo Switch Pro controller. This is the original one. I have very small baby hands. I admit this. I love this controller. It's not perfect, but I love it. It's one of my favorite controllers of this generation or whatever. And so for me, it's very comfortable. It looks about the same, but it's going to have the C button. And it's going to have an audio jack, which is nice. I kind of wish the audio jack was here. And they're adding these new back buttons that you can map to whatever it's going to be for the games. So that was okay. I mean, it wasn't like anything like substantially crazy. I'm just a little bummed because am I gonna have to buy another Pro controller? Like, they never actually said if this thing is gonna work with it or not. I would hope so. I mean, they didn't really get into the weeds of the peripheral stuff that much, like old peripherals to the new console. So I'd like a little more information. If there's something out there on the internet, I might have missed it. But yeah, that was something too that kind of bummed me out a little bit, to be honest with you. So the big thing, or one of the big things with this, was something that we all kind of guessed for the longest time. Are they going to do it? Are they not going to do it? They keep teasing it. They kept, kind of blue balling the audience a little bit. And that is, are we getting Switch 2 versions of games? And the answer is yes, you are. We're getting Switch 2 versions of Mario Party, Jamboree, Switch 2 versions of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That one actually really surprised me. Switch 2 versions of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which is very exciting. We're getting Switch 2 versions of Metroid Prime 4, Hallelujah, I almost said Metroid Prime again, and Pokemon Legends ZA, which I knew they were going to do it. I had this feeling, man. I'm so glad that one actually got me really happy. Look, this is the thing that's a little annoying, right? So, if you have the original game, you're going to essentially have to pay for an upgrade pack. And if not, they're going to do, some of them are going to have physical versions with the Switch 2 versions. So, for example, I don't own Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to play it. So, in the future, I will wait because I think they said it's going to be a physical Switch 2 version. So, I'm going to pick the Switch 2 version up because why the hell not? But yeah, it's exciting to me because even Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid, when they showed those off, I was like, oh my god, this looks noticeably better. And it's going to run better. That to me was like, okay, you got me here. And it was cool too because they even showed, with the big push for performance, like for Metroid, you're going to have I think it was 720p with 120 FPS for performance. Correct me in the comments. And it was, I think, 1080p and 4K resolution for like the other version. I think it's quality. So that's really cool. I'm really excited with the notion that they're doing this. And again, with HDR, if there's a lot of you out there that have just always been in the realm of Nintendo, like HDR can make a big deal on a video game with the lighting. It can make a difference. Some games, I'll be honest, you gotta play with it a little bit. But for the most for the most part, the HDR stuff that I've seen has been fantastic. So I'm really excited, man. This is like a real game changer. Like, if we could play Mario Odyssey, I think they showed it, Mario Odyssey even with HDR, that would be friggin' sick, man. So that, for me, just as like a guy who wants to see better tech from Nintendo, that made me very excited and very happy. So, again, it does kind of suck that you're going to have to repay, but that's the nature of the beast, man. Like, unfortunately, that's just how it is. You can't even stand up for it. Everybody's doing it. And then we got to talk about the Switch to mouse control thing that they're doing. I'm personally not against it. I'm actually kind of fascinated by it because they said they're going to use it for all kinds of games, like Metroid Prime 4 is going to use it, which is such a fun idea. It'll feel like an FPS on the computer. Like, I think they're just trying to get that Steam audience, and I'm like here for it because you can open up so many more avenues. Maybe the Switch 2 will come with a mouse pad and we haven't heard about it. I don't know. They should throw you something at that point. But it'll be interesting. I am very curious to see what they're going to do. But they announced this game called Drag X Drive. I want to make sure I said that right. And it's like a wheelchair basketball game, like robots. Is this offensive? I can't figure out if this is supposed to be an offensive thing or not. But it's like these dudes on like these robotic wheelchairs playing basketball. It looks like a cute idea, but I'm getting the vibe that they're charging for this. And again, this looks like something that they shouldn't be charging for. This should just come with the console, just to try out the mices. I don't know. So it's cool. It's a novelty, but I'm very curious to see, like, in the future what their game is with the mouse. Man, I can't even say it. The Nintendo Switch mouse. Maybe they'll bring Mario Paint back. Maybe they'll do Art Academy again. I'll just spoil this. There was no Baldur's Gate 3 in this Direct, so I'm fully expecting Baldur's Gate 3 at some point to show up on this console. So stuff like that's going to be cool. Alright, so the next part is going to be the third-party games. This is like one of those moments where I actually have to pull out my notes because so many games got announced and I want to make sure I get all the heavy hitters out of the way. So without further ado, please don't be mad if you see me looking down on my list here because, like I said, this is just kind of an impromptu video. We're just going on the fly here, baby. So the first game they went out the gate with was Elden Ring, which was a nice surprise, I'm not going to lie. I don't hate from software. It's just not... They're not my cup of tea. The last one I really bought and played was Sekiro, and I got demolished pretty far and pretty early into the game. So I like them, I respect them, but for me, that's not my thing. But I know people love those games and they have such a passion for them. So I think Elden Ring was one of the smartest plays that Nintendo could make, and it's probably gonna run fine. Like, you're gonna see like some of the footage when you watch a direct. There's some chuggy, but then you look at other things and you're like, oh, the lighting here looks good. This looks good. Like, it definitely looks a lot better performance-wise. I mean, this is definitely like that PS4 Pro territory, and I'm not mad about it. Like, to me, it's probably one of the best baseline jumps I've ever seen from Nintendo, in my opinion at least. This is the one I got excited for. Hades 2, because Hades did so well on Switch and it ran fantastic. I can only imagine what Hades 2 is going to play like. Hades 2 for me, like when I get to it, I'm going to probably play it on the Switch. So I'm Switch 2, so I'm very excited about that. The UI is a little funky looking. I don't know why. It reminds me of like Torchlight a little bit. And then the next thing that they announced that was really exciting was Street Fighter 6. It's the first time in a long time where we're finally getting like a big mainline Street Fighter again on a Nintendo console. And they announced they're going to do a version with all of the DLC, or you could just get a standard. So there's like a Years 1 and 2 pack or something, and then like a standard. And they also announced they're doing amiibos of characters like Luke and Kimberly and that Luke's friend and the amiibo cards. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe there's amiibos. There's more amiibos? I'm going to be honest, like I would have loved it if they made other characters. Like I loved playing Marissa in that game. I would have been down for like a Marissa or I don't know, just other characters. Maybe they'll do the original 8 Street Fighter characters. But in any case, I'm here for it, or whoever's in that. I forgot who's in it. But I'm actually really excited to see what they're doing, what they're cooking with that. So that was cool. That was interesting. I wondered if Capcom was going to show up with something. I was expecting, like, honestly, like Resident Evil. So I'm pretty jazzed that they did Street Fighter. I'd like to see some Dragon's Dogma in the future. Just putting that out there. Okay, and then they showed off a new Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion. I don't know. I never played the first one. It's still on my Steam wishlist, and I want to play it. But this game looked awesome. I love the art of it, the voices, everything just looked fantastic. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. A lot of these games I should also add that are coming out this year. So that was the exciting thing too. I don't know the dates and the years of every one of these games, and I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to sit here and give you every one of them, but I think this one's coming out this year. So that's pretty exciting. The other one that was cool was they announced Split Fiction, which is the new game from the guys that did It Takes Two. And it's about the two girls, they're two writers, and they get sucked into a machine where all of their like literature stuff is like coming real. I just think this looks really cute. It's a fun idea. Yo, Switchboard Sam, if you see this video, we should run multiplayer. If they do an online version of this, we should do multiplayer on that. I just think that would be so funny. I don't know why. When I saw that game, I thought of you. So if you see this video, bro, and you want in on that, we should do that when it comes out. I think that would actually be really funny. Okay, so here's the thing. I was sitting here laughing at this, but EA shows up and they're like, yeah, we're bringing back EA Sports. We're doing WWE, and we're doing, I think, basketball, and I think Madden or something. And I was like, dude, you guys, like, come and go. It's like every Nintendo console, you're, like, afraid to, like, go all in on it. And then when Nintendo finally made a ton of money on the Switch, you're like, oh, we're back. So I was like, oh, yeah, cool, dude. Sweet. Thumbs up. Don't care. Move on. I literally was like, wrap it up. Cut it. Let's go. So the other one was Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I personally really enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy. There was things about it that kind of bugged me. I hated the map. I thought it was very talky, but I love that game. I thought it was like, literally, they're going to ape that system for years. I know they're doing another one or something now, but man, Harry Potter fans with that game, man, they were eating good. That game is going to do really damn well on the Nintendo Switch too if it performs good. So keep your eye on that. I'm very curious about that port because I think it's gonna sell. It's going to sell real good. Because this one was friggin' sick. So I'm really excited about this. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 got announced recently, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I saw they bring in the Doomslayer and one of my favorite demons in there and all this other jazz. But they teased some new stuff. They showed some new skaters, and then they jumped in for like 10 seconds. They went into Bikini Bottom of SpongeBob. So like, is SpongeBob going to be playable? Like, what's going on here? I loved it. I popped for it. I was like, this is amazing. I love that they're just going hard with Tony Hawk stuff and the shenanigans. Maybe Shrek will come back. I don't know. But I'm so here for it. I'm like, am I going to get a Tony Hawk game on a Nintendo platform in 2025, 2026? Like, is this happening? So I might be picking up that version instead of the PlayStation 1. The team at IO Interactive, they showed off Hitman, the recent Hitman, and they're also talking about the new 007 project. People love those Hitman games. Like, I was actually really happy to see that there. So in 007, they're gonna knock that out of the park. Like, those are really nice titles. I like that Nintendo. You could say what you want about this Direct again, but I like that Nintendo kind of curated it in a way where they even hit the older fans, and that was good. I think that was a good play by them. So this was the one that surprised me because so many of my friends, in particular the JRPG YouTuber friends of mine, or acquaintances, I don't know what we are, they were so convinced that Final Fantasy IX was coming to this thing, the remake. I've heard nonstop about how much people love 9. But instead we got, from Square Enix, we got a Bravely Default, I wrote it down, Flying Fairy HD Remaster, which is a remaster, a redo of the original Bravely Default game. I mean, I remember I played this when it came out, I played the demo, and it didn't do much for me, but people love Bravely Default. Like, there's like I don't know if it's like would you say it's a cult following? I don't know, but man, people were jazzed about it. So I can only imagine people were pretty excited, but I feel bad for those Final Fantasy IX fans, dude. That's rough. That is rough, bro. Ugh. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's coming. Listen, if it's taking them this long, maybe it's going to be like incredible. So just putting that out there. Then you got Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. It's really cool to see that they're making, Sega's making a big push with the Yakuza franchise on Nintendo. I'm fascinated by that. I might check this out because I played a little bit of this on PC, but the Director's Cut, they're going to add extra goodies. So I'm just intrigued. I want to see where they go with this. Alright, so here's one of my hot takes of this whole Direct, okay? I have a weird relationship with Koei Tecmo over the years. I'm still wondering, like, if they remembered what Monster Rancher is. I'm going to be honest. But I know people love the Warriors games. They love the Altair, I can't say it, those games. Like, Yumiya just came out. I know people love those. I'm happy for those people. But people always play the Warriors games. And they announced that they're doing another Hyrule Warriors. And, like, I get it. Zelda's huge. I understand that. But this is what, like, the third or fourth Hyrule Warriors game. Like, this is my hot take. I'm over it, bro. This is supposed to be like a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. It's called Age of Imprisonment. Again, I know the Zelda fans are probably popping off right now, but I gotta be real with you. When I saw this, I was literally like, yo, like, move on. Like, I would have took a Xenoblade one, another Fire Emblem. Hell, you could have did Kirby, a Kirby War, something just wild. I would have been here for it. But I don't know, man. I'm not interested. Are you excited for this? I'm sure a lot of people are going to be mad at me right now. Alright, so this is the big thing of the whole thing for me, which could be sad or good depending on how you look at it. So they are bringing the NSO back from the original Switch to the Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch Online. So you're going to get all your features, all the things that you're paying for. I am currently just paying for the regular one because honestly, as much as I love GBA, I just don't want to pay the money. But Nintendo did it. They finally did it, guys. They grabbed me by the balls and they said, there you go, you're screwed now, bud. And they announced that they are doing Nintendo GameCube on the Switch. I mean, I literally was sitting there like, what? I feel like I'm having a fever dream. I feel like I've been waiting and asking for this for so long that it's like a joke at this point. But not only did they like announce it, but I think they went even beyond my expectations. So they showed off the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, the original version. They showed off F-Zero GX, which was like, holy crap, this is really happening. And they showed off Soul Calibur 2 with Link in it, and they showed that they've improved the visuals and how it looks, and there's going to be online for some games, so you'll be able to go online with GX, and on top of that, there's going to be remappable buttons. It's just crazy to me, bro. And then they showed off the games that are coming for this thing, and if you look at the games, and I mean this as a guy who's a GameCube fan, a GameCube collector. I've said this is potentially my favorite console of all time. Look at the games that they announced, and you tell me that they did not curate those specifically. There's Mario Sunshine. You've got Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. What does that game go for? Like $200 now? Chibi Robo, which was a Walmart exclusive. I have that. I showed it to you guys in my 600 subs video. Pokemon Coliseum, which was one of the ones I wanted the most on there. It's such an underrated, weird game. Pokemon, XD Gale of Darkness. That game is so expensive. I've never played it. That's there. Luigi's Mansion. That they specifically went after the rare games and things that weirdos like me on the internet have been begging for. So let me just say, you could say whatever you want about this Direct, but I tip my hat to them for doing that. I could not believe that they did that. I want to give out one idea to Nintendo. If anybody out there is stalking, I'm looking for it right now as we talk. Please, Star Fox Assault online, please. Star Fox Assault, please. This would get me in. Clean it, or if you want to HD it, I don't care. Just I can't believe I even get the opportunity to say that. So yeah, Nintendo GameCube coming to the Switch 2 online. They got me with that. I gotta be honest. Also want to mention that they announced a GameCube controller that's gotta have a C button and some other jazz, wireless. I'm kind of bummed they didn't do the other colors. It's like that periwinkle one, but that thing is gonna sell so quick. But I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm gonna probably have to buy that, aren't I? So they got me with that too. I was not too happy about that part. Oh man. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna do these a little quicker, and then we're gonna get to the end point here. But they announced Deltarune. Toby Fox is probably very happy right now. These games have not resonated with me at all. I've tried them, but people love them on the internet, and that's cool, man. You get your moment. I respect that. Like, I'm happy that those people get their games. That's really neat, man. Undertale was such a hit, man. It's crazy. Borderlands 4, which that one surprised me too. It looks pretty good actually, and I guess there's ships now. I'm getting Borderlands 4, but I don't know if I'm gonna get on the Switch too, to be honest with you. Civ 7's coming with mouse support. That was a cool one. The one that really surprised me was Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know how the hell this thing's going to even remotely run on this console. I give them the benefit of a doubt, but I just don't. I think it's going to chug real bad, bro. We'll see. I don't know. I just remember when it came out on PS4, it was having problems. So I can only imagine they're going to have to do some real work to get that thing running. And maybe it does. I don't know. This one I called, and I said it for a while now, and that is Final Fantasy VII Remake Interguard is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. Square Enix is bringing it, so we're getting the first part of the Final Fantasy VII trilogy, the new ones, and I'm so happy about it because it ran great on PS4. It was awesome, and I can only see bigger and better things for this version on the Switch 2. I think this is going to be a banger, and it's going to be a hit. It should have came out with the launch. I don't think it's gonna, but I'm still excited nonetheless that they're actually doing it, and I don't know how you get Part 2 Rebirth on this thing, if they're going to pull that off, but they got a lot of work to do in the future. So this is exciting stuff, man. I'm really happy that they're actually doing it. Big moves, big moves. They showed off like a montage, and they showed Hollow Knight's Silk Song for like 2 seconds, and everybody on the internet died. That was kind of funny, so I had to throw that in there. And then they hyped up this big exclusive partnership with FromSoft, and they're working on a game called the Dusk Bloods, and it was advertised almost like a Bloodborne, but apparently I'm hearing it's going to be some kind of a PvE game or PvP game with 8 players or something. I don't know what the hell this thing is, I'm going to be honest with y'all, but I get it. It's exclusive to Switch 2, so they're going for the throat with this. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's going to be, folks. I wish I was the FromSoft expert, but I'm not. And I don't know. I just know that was a big move for them. So, kudos to them, I guess. Kudos to Nintendo. Are you excited for this? I thought it was Castlevania at first. Am I the one that thought it was like Castlevania? I saw the mark and I was like, what's going on, man? The final 2 game announcements of this show were essentially Sakurai finally showed off his brand new game, and it was Kirby Air Riders, a sequel to Kirby Air Ride, a game that came out on the GameCube like 20 years ago. It's one of the few Kirby games that I'm not super fond of. Like, I'm not crazy about it, but I love that they just said, screw it, let's go back to Kirby Air Ride. Let's actually do something crazy. And the way that they went about this trailer, it felt like Smash Brothers was getting announced. Like, I was waiting for the Switch 2 port of Smash Ultimate or something. So we'll see. I'm going to keep my eye on it because I want to see if they're going to add in all these new characters and things that they've added into the franchise, like Magalore and Susie and all those kinds of characters. I would love to see it. And yeah, I'm excited. You know what? It's nice to see Sakurai's working on something new. Would have been amazing if we got a new Kid Icarus or something, but who knows? I'm not going to give up hope. I think Kid Icarus is the game that the Switch 2 really needs to solidify itself, personally, in my opinion. The final one of these 2 games was the big announcement, which was they're finally doing a brand new 3D Donkey Kong game again. It's been, I don't know how many years. It's called Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it looks amazing. Again, you could say whatever you want with this Direct, but that game looked friggin' awesome, bro. I was so excited about it. He's got his brand new look. He's wearing like overalls and his tie, but then there was some scenes where he wasn't wearing it. It looks like they put a bunch of monkeys through slavery or some kind of a mine, and he's got to save them all. I don't know, but the expressions were funny and really over the top. The worlds look beautiful. I was really shocked by just how much detail there was, and it really looked to me like a next-gen Nintendo game. And you could punch through like everything because he's strong as hell, and the enemies looked cool, like that sassy chick and the angry little monkey guy and all. Oh my god, I was like, to me that's like the winner chicken dinner game that they showed at the whole thing, if I'm being honest with you. That was like, and it's coming out like a month after the Switch 2 launches, so that was pretty cool. That one was really exciting. I had to throw the Donkey Kong shirt on. But yeah, overall, this thing's coming out June 5th. There's 2 versions of the console. There's going to be one that's just the Switch 2, and then there's going to be one with the Switch 2 and a digital version of Mario Kart World. So they didn't show you prices or any of that stuff in the Direct, which was very upsetting to me. But I read that it's going to be $450, and games are going to be, I think, $80 digital and $90 physical is what they're saying. I don't know what the hell is going on. I also read, like, the cartridges are not going to have full games on it. But, guys, I'm not trying to be rude here. That's been an issue even on discs. Like, you have things that happen during like PS4 and Xbox One stuff where like full games weren't on discs. It's unfortunately a sad truth. Like, they are trying to push out physical buyers. So I don't know, man. You take the good with the bad here, but I am excited. Do I think that this was the best presentation that they made? Not necessarily. Like, it was good. I liked it. There was things about it that were enjoyable, but there was a lot of things that you could tell they were trying to navigate away from, like I was saying, pricing and such. So I'm very disappointed in that regard. I'm going to wait and see with this thing. I don't really buy consoles at launch And I have enough games on the Switch. I'm pretty happy with what I got, and there's still some stuff I want to play. But yeah, I won't lie to you. There's things on the Switch too that look awesome. I'm excited about the GameCube stuff. I'm excited about the new Donkey Kong. I'm excited about the Switch 2 versions of these games, believe it or not. You know, there are things. Mario Kart looks cool. I was surprised there was no Mario, but I'm a Donkey Kong guy, so I'm all in on that. You know, there's certain stuff I'm surprised by, but I'm also thinking, you know what, I'm going to wait and see with this. They're going to go all in on this console. They're going to try to cook. $450 is about where I thought it was going to be, $400, $450. But those game prices is crazy, if that's real. $80 to $90, that's kind of crazy, man. So, yeah, overall, I liked it. I thought it was good. I think if I don't like to rate directs or anything, but I'd probably give it like a 7.5. Because to me, at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this too. You're going to be buying the console, those games, the camera, maybe you'll get the controller. That's a lot of money, bro, for a console. I mean, I paid a lot as it is for the PS5. And yeah, so that's about it. That was my thoughts. What are your thoughts down below? Please tell me in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, ring the bell, do whatever you got to do. I always appreciate you guys watching and listening to me ramble. And we're very close to 700 subs. If we hit 700 subs, I will do a poll for another special. The goal this year, and I've been very open about it, is 1,000 subs. I understand I haven't been putting out a lot of videos yet, but eventually we're going to get back in gear. Things have just been happening in life, and that's just how it is sometimes. I don't want to sit here and be like, I'm sorry, I don't have a video up. I'm going to try my best. So yeah, guys, Nintendo Switch 2, what do you think? Are you hyped? You mad? You sad? I don't know. I just want Kid Icarus. Just give me a new Kid Icarus, please. Please, I'm begging you. Please. Sakura!